More 101 facts coming at you today. This time the subject matter is Colombia.
Woo!
Yeah.
Yes.
You might know a little something about that.
Yes, I do. I'm half Colombian.
Yeah, I'm 0%. So that's 25% already covered there. So
boom.
Let's see if we can learn anything about it today.
Let's dive in.
I'm definitely going to be learning more here. So
I'm going to be interested to see if I can confirm or deny these facts.
Yeah, exactly. All right, 3, 2, 1.
Good evening, motherfuckers. My name is Sam, and today I hope you've packed your suitcase because we're headed back to South America. Virtually, that is, because international travel is currently mostly prohibited. But this time we're off to Colombia, a staggering land of coffee and eternal spring and coffee. Lovely stuff. But where can you find the phenomenon known as the liquid rainbow? How did Colombians use mimes to take down crime? And how can you listen to 101 Facts but in Spanish? Well, this time, 3 out of 3 of those questions are going to be answered. As you can check out 101 Curiosidades on YouTube now to hear this but in Spanish. I know, right? Buenos noches, senor. Head on over there, but after this, because first we need to talk about this old country with 101 facts about Colombia. Number 1. Colombia is a country in South America whose name derives from explorer Christopher Columbus. Like its spelling though, it's pronounced Colombia, not Colombia. Unlike the explorer, just think of how Gloria from Modern Family says it. Number 2. Colombia has some pretty cool neighbours sharing borders with 5 other countries: Brazil, Ecuador, Panama, Venezuela and Peru. Despite having all those shared borders, Colombia is the only country in South America that has coastlines on both the Pacific Ocean and the Caribbean Sea. Take that, Brazil. Number 3. The capital city of Colombia is Bogota, which happens to be
the Pacific Ocean? Oh, or have I been looking at that map completely wrong for all this time?
Yeah, where Panama comes, right?
Oh, shoot.
And it has a little bit of a coast on the Pacific side.
Oh, okay. I have not been paying attention to that.
You're good.
Wow.
Brazil. Number 3. The capital city of Colombia is Bogota, which happens to be the third.
Bogota.
Bogota? You mean Bogota?
Yeah, Bogota, like Bogota, like pagoda. Like, okay. Yeah. Go there saying it like that. You'll get relocated real quick.
All right.
Highest capital in the world, sitting on top of the Andes Mountains, a whopping 2,640 meters above sea level. Bonus facts, the other 2 highest capitals are also in South America: Quito in Ecuador and La Paz in Bolivia. Number 4. An entire third of the country is part of the Amazon rainforest, and while this is, a lot, it's actually only around 10% of the whole rainforest. 60% of it's in Brazil, and the other 13% is part of Peru. Number 5. Colombia is actually the second most biodiverse country in the entire world, beaten only by their neighbour Brazil. It's also one of the few mega-diverse countries with 10% of the world's biodiversity. Number 6. They rank first in bird species diversity, being home to more species of bird than Europe and North America combined. That's a lot of wing flapping. They also come second place in plant, butterfly, freshwater fish and amphibian diversity too. So yeah, they're more diverse than, the UK street dance group diversity. There's a reference everyone knows. Number 7.
So basically, it's a nature lover's dream. Colombia.
That's the Amazon part. Like,
yeah.
Once you connect to the Amazon, you're open to the biodiversity that the Amazon fucking rainforest offers, which is all of it. Like,
makes sense.
Yeah.
Totally makes sense.
7. Colombia is also home to over 4,000 species of orchids, the most in the world. In fact, 1,500 of those variations can only be found in Colombia. It makes sense then that the national flower of the country is the daisy. Nah, I'm kidding, it's obviously the orchid. Number 8. Colombia is part of the Pacific Ring of Fire, making it prone to volcanic eruptions and earthquakes. They have 15 active volcanoes and are at the junction of the Nazca, Caribbean and South American tectonic plates. So there's plenty of seismic activity to get the ground shaking if you can't do that yourself. Wink wink.
Look at my eyes!
Number 9. National parks cover more than 14% of Colombia, spanning around 170,000 square kilometers and 59 nationally protected areas. These parks are the home to the many diverse species of animals and plants we talked about just a minute ago. They also come second place in plant, butterfly, freshwater fish, and amphibian diversity too. Number 10.
Like, to 14% of the entire country
Is
national parks. I wonder how that compares to other very biodiverse countries like Brazil, or heck, how that compares to the United States.
Yeah, because what are we? I mean, I know the thing is, we're the U.S. is massive,
right?
You know,
I'm
so-
talking like per capita, not like, I know obviously the countries are much different sizes. But
Yeah, but it'd be interesting because I feel like if you rally all of our parks, it doesn't even come close to 1%.
yeah.
Like because of what you're comparing it against, but still, that's a pretty significant chunk of a country.
Oh yeah.
10,300 feet above sea level in the city of Bogota, you can find the Montserrat Mountain. Right at the top there are a number of restaurants and cafes and a church known for pilgrimage. The panoramic views are incredible there, but don't worry, there is a cable car that can get you right up there. Number 11. Medellin is known as the city of eternal spring because
it hurts.
Meddling.
Meddling, like
mean
those kids.
You mean Medellin?
Like Medellin? Because remember the 2 L's is a Y.
Oh yeah,
Pronounced like
Medellin.
Y.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, I would have gotten that wrong too. I thought it was Medellin or something.
Those meddling kids. I got it.
Oh
Got
my
it.
God. Every Colombian is just mad right now.
Yeah,
I'm trying to
absolutely nuts.
I'm trying not to let it. I'm trying to ignore it, but it's impossible sometimes.
It's all right. I can't pick a bone with him on this video because he's probably mispronounced other things that we've checked out. So it's just like, fine. If you're gonna mispronounce stuff, do it globally.
Yeah. It'd be interesting to see his 101 facts about USA and see if, how much he didn't get right.
Yeah.
because of its spring-like climate that lasts all year round. Honestly, that sounds delightful, sign me up. But anyway, in Medellin there's Botero Plaza, where there are an insane amount of artworks, including 23 iconic statues by Colombian artist Fernando Botero, the plaza's namesake. That's why it's called that. Number 12. Speaking of something visually amazing, Cano Cristalis, located in the province of Seriana de Macarena. This beautiful river is known as the River of Five Colours, or Liquid Rainbow, because, well, look at it. Number 13. Legend dictates that the river is this colour because it flows directly from paradise, but really it's far more boring than that. It's actually due to the special plants on the riverbed reacting to varying amounts of sunlight. It's wholly unique to that part of the world. You cannot see it anywhere else, except here on YouTube right now, am I right? Number 14. Before Colombia became, well, Colombia, it was inhabited by the Muisca, Quimbaya and Tairona indigenous tribes for at least 13,000 years. Some of the oldest found archaeological sites along the Amazon River date back as far as the Paleo-Indian era, which is between 18,000 and 8,000 BCE, basically, it old. Number 15. These tribes from the north mostly settled in the western mountainous regions of Colombia because of their rich and fertile land for growth, as they were intensive farmers and craftsmen. The most prominent tribe in Colombia was the Chibchans, or Muiscas. Number 16. A second influx of migrants came to the area between 500 and 800 BC, including your mum, and brought with them multicoloured ceramics, as well as advancements in housing and farming. Tribes were organised by a pyramidal structure, with chieftains at the top, much like the indigenous North Americans. Number 17. The Muisca and Tairona were the most advanced of these societies, and inhabited what's now known as Bogota, as well as the surrounding areas. Then, around the turn of the first millennium in 1000 AD, Carib arrived and forced tribes north. Number 18. By the early 13th century, the Inca Empire arose, and by the beginning of the 14th century had moved into parts of what's now Colombia. This was until 1499, when the Spanish came along and colonised a significant amount of South America. Number 19. These Europeans tried to settle in the northern coast of Colombia, but were unsuccessful until Spaniard Rodrigo de Bastidas came along for a jaunt. And the conquest of Colombia began in 1525, with the Spanish establishing their first permanent Colombian settlement. Number 20. By 1549, the Spanish had made their way inland and had inhabited and established Bogota, giving the area the name of New Granada. Then, as far as I can tell, they just chilled for 200 years because we can't find any information about what happened to them between then and the year 1717. Number 21. Speaking of 1717, that's when the Viceroyalty of New Granada was created, which encompassed the Spanish Empire in Colombia, Ecuador, and Venezuela. But then they got some more money, so they re-established in 1739, also adding Panama, Guyana, and some of Suriname, as well as bits of Peru and Brazil into the territory. Number 22. During Colombia's colonization, the growth of industry in farming, mining, and textile work was exponential, which sounds good until you realise that slavery was introduced during colonialism and was common in these working areas. Number 23. Also during this time, the Roman Catholic Church became a huge influence in Colombia, providing welfare services, as well as building and operating schools. Archbishop Caballero y Góngora was the viceroy between 1782 and 88, and made education his primary concern. Number 24. The citizens of the Viceroyalty in New Granada revolted in 1781 because of the increase in taxes, particularly on alcohol and tobacco products. Whilst this started as small, the revolt would be the beginning of what would become independence for the countries. Number 25. By 1822, the territories of the Viceroyalty gained independence from Spain and became Gran Colombia, and then became the Republic of New Granada in 1830. Yes, we are skipping forward a bit, but we only have 101 of these little knowledge bites for you. Number 26. In 1863, the Republic of New Granada became the United States of Colombia, and 3 years after that became the Republic of Colombia in 1866. Don't worry, there's no more name changes, we are now fully 100% Colombian. Number 27. Colombia has been a democratic country since they gained independence back in 1819 to 1822, and much like other democracies around the world, they elect a president every 4 years who leads the country for the next, 4 years, until they do that election malarkey all over again. Number 28. Since Colombia's independence, they've had 2 civil wars that happened as a result of the rivalry of the conservative and liberal political parties of the country. The Thousand Days War between 1899 and 1902 saw 100,000 deaths, and La Violencia in the 1940s and 50s saw an estimated 300,000.
Wow.
Number 29. In the 1990s, Colombia saw a huge rise in drug manufacturing and trafficking, with Pablo Escobar and other drug lords building influence in the country, creating chaos amongst government. This, alongside the issues caused by the guerrilla groups in the country, caused the writing of a new constitution in 1991. Number 30. The new constitution...
Oh yeah, that was... I keep thinking that it's a lot further back than that, but it was very recent.
Very recent. Yep.
Yeah.
reflected the more modern attitudes of the country, especially compared to the attitudes in 1866 when the original constitution was drawn up. Whilst it did take a while for the effects of the new, more democratic constitution to really take hold, Colombia began to implement peace amongst the country, which had been subject to civil war conflict for decades. Number 31. Since the turn of the 2000s, Colombia has continued to work on its approach to peace, which has garnered international support. Talks went on until 2016, when a new peace deal was signed and approved by Colombian Congress. President Santos was awarded the Nobel Prize because of it. Number 32. Colombia's flag as we know it today was first adopted in 1861. The yellow represents the riches of the country, the wealth of Colombian soil, sovereignty, justice, agriculture, and the sun. Whilst the blue represents the shores of Colombia, the rivers and the sky, and the red represents the blood spilled for Colombia's independence. Number 33. The official language of Colombia is Spanish, with around 99% of the population speaking it. There are also some more local languages scattered around, but pretty much everyone there speaks Spanish. Buenos noches, Despacito. Number 34. Approximately 70% of the population follow Catholic Christianity, with Protestant and Evangelical Christianity trailing away behind in second place with 16.7%. Other religions also live and practice in the country, but Christianity is by far the most affiliated. Number 35. If you like public holidays, then head on over to Colombia, as they have a whopping 18 holiday days, one of the highest in the world. It certainly beats our measly 8 days a year in the UK. Come on, Britain, this fat lad needs a break. Number 36. Speaking of people, there's just over 50 million of them living in Colombia. It's the third most populated country in Latin America, as a matter of fact, after Mexico and Brazil. 15%, or 7.5 million of them, live in the capital city Bogota. Number 37. According to a 2018 study by Gallup, Colombians are the second happiest people on Earth. They lost out on first place to Fiji. Number 38.
The happiest place on Earth, second happiest. What do you think about that?
Well, I mean, you got the marching powder and coffee. Why?
Yeah.
I mean, hey, you have all the tools at your disposal to be the happiest, most productive person on the planet. In-house.
You're right. So they got stuff done.
No, yeah, I would say it was when I went there. It was very very pleasant.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hey,
for sure.
good to know. Good to know.
8. If you fancy being sick in your mouth, let me introduce you to this Colombian delicacy, chocolate santafanero, or chocolate con queso. Imagine hot chocolate, then put some boiled cheese at the bottom of it, and ta-da, you've got a cheesy chocolatey breakfast drink. Number 39.
You heard of that?
Never in my life. So
Yeah, I mean, I've seen a few videos from like Walter's World where he's talking about like food in Colombia, and yeah, that's something that came up was chocolate con queso.
I'll try it once.
Yeah, why not?
Chigua is another breakfast treat that one can have while in Colombia. It's a soup made of the white stuff, milk, not the other white stuff Colombia's famous for, as well as an egg, an undercooked egg. Apparently it's delicious, but then they would say that, wouldn't they? Number 40. Meanwhile, over in the region of Santander, why not try some of the hormiga culona? This translates to English literally as big-ass ants, which is what they are. A collection of dead ants with fried bottoms, often served from street vendors. Number 41.
Ants? I don't think so, Scooter.
Nope. Nope.
But if you're more hungry, why not tuck instead into some bandeja paisa, Colombia's national dish, which is frankly bloody massive. It can vary depending on which region of the country you're in, but can involve a platter of up to 13 ingredients, including beans, fried pork belly, and a fried egg on top. Just love eggs, huh? The meaning of life. For drinks, the folks in Colombia often drink avena. Avena is a drink made up of milk and water-soaked oats. If that just sounds like oatmeal, well, it basically is, and they drink it, so... Number 43. Their alcoholic drink of choice is aguardiente. It's their national spirit, in fact. Otherwise known as guaro, it's sweet and fruity, but still feels like it's burning down your throat, much like other forms of spirit. Tasty. Number 44.
Guardo. You ever had that?
Yeah. I feel like the one I've had, for some reason, was like more pepperminty. I would put it as a peppermint. But I brought back a couple bottles when I came back. It's not terrible. Not terrible. It does the job. I'll put it that way.
All right. Good to know. I guess later on the video, I'll get some tips from you for travel in Colombia.
Oh, yeah.
We'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
Yeah.
4. Now, I don't know about you, but when there's an election, I like to get drunk so the outcome hurts less. I'm sure Colombians would love to do that too, but they can't. In 2014, they started a dry law on election weekends, meaning a complete ban on alcohol. Oh, and guns too, but those things don't traditionally mix well anyway. Number 45. Speaking of dangerous drinks, coffee. Or rather, kids drinking coffee. A concept that makes me shudder to my very core. However, it's been known to occur in Colombia. They even have after-school programs where kids learn how to properly brew like a barista. Number 46. Nice. Now, Colombia are huge exporters of coffee, but here's something that will shock you to your boots. Coffee is not native to Colombia at all. If it hadn't been brought there by whoever brought it, coffee would never have grown there naturally. Ain't that wild? Number 47.
Wow, that blows my mind. That's not
crazy.
Native to there.
That's crazy.
Where is it native to? I don't know.
I don't. I would think maybe Africa.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, maybe Africa. But yeah, that's pretty interesting. How like that's a cash crop that was introduced.
Yeah. I'm gonna assume that it has the perfect climate to grow.
Yeah,
like I'm thinking because the only U.S. state that grows coffee is Hawaii. So
yeah, well, it's anything volcanic. I think produces good coffee.
Yeah.
Now that's interesting. Kids and coffee. Yo. Like I know my father told me he drank coffee at a very young age, like I think 5 or 6. Or 4, like very, very early, like insanely early. I couldn't imagine me giving Alexander coffee until he finds it himself.
Yeah. At least like 10 or something.
Yeah.
He's got enough energy as it is. So.
As it is, yes.
Yeah.
That is wild, because had it not made its way over there, it wouldn't have been able to be one of the biggest exporters of coffee in the world. In the year 2020 to 2021, 13.5 million bags of coffee were exported from Colombia. And they're big 60-kilogram bags too, not like a bum bag or fanny pack for our American chums. Number 48. Nowadays, there are around 500,000 families in Colombia producing coffee across 50,000 farms. Because the country has a steady climate which is quite warm, it's perfect for growing the go-go beans. Number 49. Music is a big deal in Colombia. Much like their biodiversity, there's huge diversity in musical expression, depending on what region you're in. There's lots of influences from other cultures too, such as Amerindian, African and European, mostly Spanish, which makes Colombian music quite unique. Number 50. One of the most recognisable Colombian music artists to us outsiders is the woman with a truthful pelvis, Shakira. Yes, that was a terrible pun on Hips Don't Lie. Yes, I regret it. Juanes is another Colombian pop music star who has broken records at the Latin Grammys since they started. Number 51. Salsa music and salsa dance are also big parts of Colombian culture. Unlike New York, Puerto Rican and Cuban salsa, Colombian style focuses far more on footwork as opposed to the movement of the upper body. Number 52. Another popular style of dance is the Colombian folkloric dance cumbia. Female dancers wear long, colourful circular skirts, whilst men wear a white suit and sombrero. Cumbia music often incorporates flutes, African-style drums, and other percussion instruments. Number 53. Unlike many places in the world, Colombia supports street art and graffiti. It's not a crime here, in fact, it's approved by the government, meaning the streets are full of colourful and vibrant works of art on its walls.
Man, that could be great if that was applied elsewhere.
Well, if you think about it, if you approve graffiti, then it doesn't become a place of like tagging. It becomes a place to put your art. You know what I mean? Like over here, it's obviously illegal. So people being rebellious and whatever, just they'll tag because it's against the law.
It's an act of rebellion.
Yeah,
it's a forbidden fruit.
Yeah,
but
over there, she's like embrace. So you're not doing anything wrong.
Right.
So,
right.
But then you have like the real graffiti artists do their art, and it's pretty,
Oh yeah.
So.
Approved by the government, meaning the streets are full of colourful and vibrant works of art on its walls. Number 54. Colombia is also home to a number of celebrated authors, one of the most popular being Gabriel Garcia Marquez. His book, Love in the Time of Cholera, is a worldwide classic, and as such he became known as one of the most significant authors of the 20th century. Number 55. Marquez won the Neustadt International Prize for Literature in 1972 and a Nobel Prize for Literature in 1982. After his death in 2014, then President of Colombia Juan Manuel Santos called Marquez the greatest Colombian who ever lived. Number 56. Colombians love football, not the American kind, but a good old-fashioned soccer ball. The men's national team has qualified for 6 World Cups and achieved its best result in 2014 when it reached the quarterfinals. Although I feel this Wikipedia entry here is a little on the harsh side. Number 57. Their biggest overall success came in 2001 when they won the Copa America, beating Mexico in the final. Number 58.
Oh, okay. So we're recording this in 2024, and
they just lost.
They just lost the Copa America to Argentina, a game that saw Lionel Messi really messy up his ankle.
Yeah, but that's okay. So since 2001, 20. My God, that's a long time.
More than 20 years.
2001 when they won the Copa America, beating Mexico in the final. Number 58. Iconic Colombian player and former captain Carlos Valderrama sadly didn't get to lift the Copa America trophy in 2001 as he made his last appearance for the team in 1998. However, he did appear at 3 consecutive World Cups and also has the best hair to ever grace a football field.
Yep.
Number 59. The most expensive Colombian football player of all time is James Rodriguez, who joined Real Madrid from Monaco in 2014 for the princely sum of 90 million euros. He was the top scorer in that year's World Cup, winning the Golden Boot Award, the first Colombian to do so. Number 60. But if football's a bit tame for you, then why not try Tejo? It's kind of like darts, meets bowling and skee ball, but also explosions. Players throw tejos, which is a weighted metal disc, towards a metal ring surrounded by an angled wooden board or box that's loaded with gunpowder and explodes on impact. Yep, not for the faint of heart.
I want to play that.
What? That sounds like that could take off here.
Oh yeah, especially in the South,
Yeah,
in the rural areas, that would take
that
off
would win.
beautifully.
That would win. What?
Yeah,
So it's
it,
like cornhole, but with gunpowder.
yeah. You could say that game would blow up in this country.
Boom.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Number 61. Point scoring depends on whether or not you get the disc in the metal ring and whether you make something explode. The sport is over 500 years old and is the national sport of Colombia, with a number of professional teams playing in organised tournaments. Number 62. There's a huge culture of drinking alcohol while playing this insane sport, so it's certain to be exciting if nothing else. It also makes throwing a weighted disc down a 20-metre lane much more difficult. Number 63.
That's all the ingredients you need. That was the icing on the cake is alcohol.
Yeah, explosion, physical activity, and drinking is promoted. Like, yeah, winner.
Sign me up. Let's
Winner.
go.
We just start a team? Yes, we did.
Yeah.
Yep. We're gonna go out there and play and represent the U.S. proudly.
Hell yeah.
Colombia is covered in bicycle lanes and of course many cyclists. Between the Colombian suburbs and into the big capital city of Bogota, there's over 300 kilometers of biking routes, the longest in the world. Nintendo 64. Colombians are very patriotic. At 6 AM and 6 PM every day, the country's national anthem, O Gloria Inmarcesible, is played on the radio and television by law. O Gloria Inmarcesible translates to O Unfading Glory in English, for those of you like me who know very little Espanol. Number 65. Ever see a dolphin and think, yeah, it's cute, but it's not pink enough? Well, fear not, in the Amazon River, which flows through Colombia, there are pink dolphins. Don't expect bubblegum pink, obviously, but like they're pinker than standard. Take it up with evolution, okay? Number 66. Much like other Latin American countries, Colombians celebrate quinceañeras. It's traditional that when a daughter turns 15, families spend lavish amounts of money to celebrate the event. There's music, dancing, loads of food, and basically everything fun. Can a nearly 30-year-old man have a quinceañera? I'm asking for a friend, it's not me.
I don't think that's how that works.
Don't think so.
I mean, you can always take yourself out for a party. That's no one's stopping you from doing that. But a quinceañera, I don't think your age and your culture allows that.
Nope.
Mm-mm.
Number 67. Colombia produces an estimated 70 to 90% of the world's emeralds. The most valuable emerald in the world came from the Muso mine in 1999. It's called the Tenor Emerald, it's 400 grams, 2,000 carats, and has such a deep green colour, its value can't even be estimated because there's nothing else like it. Number 68. The Tenor Emerald, or Esmeralda Tenor, was found alongside the other most famous emerald in the world called Fura. This emerald is 2.27 kilograms and is 11,000 carats. Wow. Like its sister, it also can't be valued, but well-cut emeralds can be worth up to $10,000 per carat, without considering uniquity. It's beyond our dreams, pals. Number 69, Despacito. So Colombia exports shiny green rocks and wakey beans, but what else? Well, their main export is actually petroleum, but they also ship out hefty amounts of coal, gold, and bananas, also known as the worst food in history. Number 70. In fact, Colombia has the largest coal mine in the entire of South America. It's called Carrion and is located in the Guajira Peninsula. Most of the coal mined here is exported over to Europe. Number 71. One of their less proud exports is cocaine. Colombia is the world's biggest producer of the drug, with more than 1,710 square kilometers of land producing coca plants where the drug comes from. For reference, the entirety of New York City is only 783 square kilometers. Number 72.
Wow. So the coca plant. So they could technically, in addition to, the fun nose powder, could supply the Coca-Cola company with the good stuff.
There you go.
Life was just hasn't been the same since they took the cocaine out of Coca-Cola.
Yep. They took the Coke out of Coke, man.
As the producer of 90% of South America's drugs, it's hardly surprising there's an ongoing history and conflict surrounding drug trafficking, especially with gangs and cartels within Colombia. Number 73. One of the most significant drug lords in history is Colombia's Pablo Escobar, who founded the Medellin cartel. Known as the king of cocaine, he was the wealthiest criminal ever, with an estimated worth of $30 million when he died in 1993. With inflation, that's pretty much double now. Number 74.
Yeah, something else I've heard is don't really talk too much about Pablo Escobar down there. Like they're
Well,
pretty much
no.
over it.
No, he's a saint there.
He's a saint.
Yeah. For where he's from, he is a saint.
Oh, okay.
Which is crazy.
All right. I'll believe you.
Yeah, no, it's because he what is it? In some area, wherever he put his money, right? He helped the community by funding schools, right? He like gave tons of money
He did.
to
Yeah.
the people.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because the people would let him know when certain people were coming after him.
Yeah. When the fuzz was after him.
Yeah. So that's for the communities he helped with his powder money.
Yeah.
They kind of helped him. It's a symbiotic relationship.
Yep. There you go.
4. At his peak, Escobar was making $120 million a week. With that wealth, he often handed out cash to poor communities, building houses for homeless people and improving living conditions in poorer areas. He even offered to bail out the country of their national debt. Number 75.
Wow.
Escobar even built his own zoo on his estate Hacienda Naples, which was home to many animals including hippos, giraffes and elephants. In fact, after his estate was seized, the hippos were released into the wild and are still present in the country today.
Oh yeah. Over on ETS, we just checked out the Fat Electrician's video on how those hippos could probably lead to an environmental disaster in the next coming years unless they're all deleted.
Yeah, like they're actually doing a shit ton of harm. So
yeah,
that's a great video too.
Oh yeah.
Number 76. The hippos have actually become somewhat of a pest issue due to the effect they have on the country's biodiversity. Various indigenous species of plants and animals were beginning to become endangered or extinct because of the hippos, meaning they regularly have to be culled to keep their population under control.
Yeah, we just talked about that.
Yeah. Oh man, it's crazy.
We're getting ahead on ourselves. Yeah, well.
77. Colombia is also home to the Andean condor, which is also the national animal of the country. They're one of the largest birds of prey in the world, weighing at least 25 pounds, but sadly they're heading towards extinction due to them being excessively hunted. Number 78. Cotton-topped tamarins are another animal that can only be found in Colombia. Sadly, they're also quite rare, but after a small population of the monkeys were introduced to the Tayrona National Park, you might see one if visiting the park. Number 79. Colombia is also home to a number of poisonous frogs too. Whilst their colours are crazy bright, they're also crazy deadly. One of the coolest is the golden poison frog, also known as the most venomous vertebrate in the world. It can only be found in humid forests on the Pacific coast of Colombia, and is so deadly that indigenous tribes have been known to use their venom to blow darts or on arrow tips to catch prey and incapacitate enemies.
So basically, if it looks really pretty, don't touch it.
Yeah.
Don't pick it up. Don't do anything to it.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you're in the Amazon or anywhere, any like kind of rainforesty area, near the Amazon, just keep your hands in your pockets. Just don't touch nothing. It's just better that way.
Yeah, exactly.
Number 80. Everyone knows Paddington Bear, right? Well, being from South America, Peru to be specific, he's an Andean spectacled bear, as that's the only bear species native to South America. It's the last short-faced bear left in existence, and Colombia is working hard to conserve what's left of them. They're known as the Guardians of the Andes after all. Number 81. Land animals aren't the only important ones though. The humpback whale has some of the most important breeding and calving grounds in the Pacific Ocean around Colombia. The warm tropical water repels predators, meaning mama whales can teach their calves before venturing out into the big blue. Number 82. In 2015, something else was found in the sea though. The Colombian Navy discovered the sunken wreckage of the infamous San Jose galleon ship, which had sunk in battle back in 1708 while carrying the largest amount of valuables ever lost at sea. The location of the wreckage is regarded as state secret and is constitutionally protected.
Damn.
Number 83. San Jose is said to be worth anywhere between $1 and $17 billion based on the amount of gold, silver and gems believed to be on board, so to be fair, I'd want to protect it too. Some people doubt its existence or that the Navy and government ever found it, but one thing is for sure, if true, it would definitely live up to its nickname, the Holy Grail of Shipwrecks. Number 84. Speaking of money, the currency of Colombia is the Colombian peso. And honestly, I might move there because it's so easy to be a millionaire. They have a 50 million peso bill, which is the equivalent to around $13,800 US. So by that logic, I might just scrape enough to reach millionaire status. I can dream.
Yeah, it's another thing about Colombia is that apparently on a U.S. salary, you could pretty much be a multimillionaire in that country. Let me see if I have that in my exchange rate doohickey thing. Colombian, no, no, I don't have that. Never
You don't
mind.
have it?
But I could quickly Google it. Let's see, USD to Colombian peso.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. As of right now, July 2024, $1 equals 4,004.27 Colombian peso.
Wow.
Yeah, 4,000.
Wow, that's crazy. Now, for reference, when I went, $1 was 1,700 Colombian pesos.
1,700. So
yeah,
that's
it's gotten worse for Colombia.
Yeah, it's increased 4 times.
Damn.
Our U.S. power has increased 4 times.
Wow.
It's probably not good for the Colombian people, but
no.
for tourists like ourselves, it's great.
Yeah. Wow, man.
Number 85. Now, if you're anything like me, you'll love a good set of knockers. In colonial Colombia, your door knocker was symbolic of your social class and power. For example, a lizard would mean a connection to royalty, a lion symbolised military personnel, and a fish or sea figure was used by sea merchants or other sea-related trades or jobs. Number 86. These door knockers were most often found in Cartagena, and the popular saying "to each house its door knocker" came from this practice of door decor. And much like many other things in life, the size of these really did matter. The bigger the knockers, the stronger the social status. Get your minds out the gutter, lads, come on.
Okay, first of all, that's Cartagena, right?
Yeah, Cartagena.
Cartagena? Okay. I figured that was another mispronunciation, which I also mispronounced, but yeah, whatever.
It's good, man. But I never knew that.
Yeah.
That makes sense. It's in Cartagena. Like, you guys have to understand, Colombia is like Colombia is split up into pockets of valleys.
Yeah.
And different cities, obviously. But it's pretty. This is pretty interesting. I never knew that.
Like, if you have a lizard on your door, it means that you're of the upper crust of society. Interesting.
All right.
Number 87. In Bogota, there's a neighbourhood called Chapinero, which is considered the centre of the LGBTQ+ community, so much so it's sometimes nicknamed Chapagay. That doesn't even fit. Anyway, the most iconic place here is Theatron, the largest gay-themed club in Latin America and one of the largest in the world, hosting up to 5,000 people across 13 different floors with different atmospheres.
Wow.
Number 88. Speaking of the LGBTQ community, Colombia is one of the most advanced countries in terms of rights in Latin America. Congress passed a law that banned discrimination due to sexual orientation back in 2011, legalized same-sex marriage in 2016, and allowed gay men to donate blood as of 2012. Number 89. I told you earlier that Colombia's national flower is the orchid. Well, it's not the only flower with the meaning in the country. Lilies and marigolds are traditional flowers for funerals and mourning. It would be considered incredibly disrespectful to give these flowers to anyone outside of that occasion. Number 90. Back in 1991, during Escobar's reign in Medellin, the city was dubbed the murder capital of the world and the most dangerous city in the world, averaging 16 murders a day. These were most often due to trafficking or gang or guerrilla warfare, but nowadays it's a totally different story. Number 91. In 2013, Medellin was named the world's most innovative city because of the drastic turnaround in deaths. Though whilst the transformation is incredible, it's not all good. Violence may have fallen, but there are still gangs, and street crime has actually risen, but hey, slow and steady. Number 92. Antanas Mocas, the mayor of Bogota in the 90s and early noughties, had a few interesting policies. To help bring down traffic violations, he hired 420, blaze it, mime artists to roam around the city and mock anyone who broke the rules on the basis that Colombians feared being mocked more than they did being fined. It must have actually worked because traffic fatalities fell 50% in his first term.
What?
Mimes.
Mimes?
To
Make
embarrass
fun?
people.
What? Okay. Interesting solution.
That could work.
Number 93. Other Mockus policies included a night for women, where women were encouraged to go out and enjoy themselves while the men stayed at home for childcare. He gave citizens thumbs up and thumbs down cards to wave at each other depending on how they behaved, and, perhaps most remarkably, he asked people to pay a voluntary 10% extra in tax, and 63,000 people did so. Number 94. To encourage left-wing paramilitary group FARC to put down its guns, the Colombian government came up with an ingenious strategy. In 2010, in time for Christmas, they covered several trees with lights and messages asking the FARC rebels to return to society. 331 of them put down their arms. Number 95.
Wow. The Colombian government, man. That's some interesting stuff there.
Wow.
Just how
Wow.
they-
Okay.
Just those last few facts there make me, if there's a Colombian equivalent of C-SPAN, that might be some interesting watching.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Another novel weapon against the rebels came in the form of a pop song commissioned by the Colombian military, which included a secret message hidden in Morse code to hostages. Number 96.
What?
The message was 19 people rescued, you are next, don't lose hope, and was included in the song Better Days, which was played on over 130 radio stations and heard by 3 million people. When a hostage was later released, they confirmed the song had helped keep up morale for those in captivity. Number 97. Most of us had to take boring old school buses to get to class, but in the Colombian rainforest, things aren't that simple. In the Rio Negro Valley, kids had to take a 40-mile-per-hour zip line to get to school. The whole journey, 1,300 feet above the valley, takes 60 seconds, and has been known to cause broken bones from crash landings. Maybe get the bus. Number 98.
Oh my
Okay, we
God.
probably...
Hold on.
Oh my God. You got a zip line to school? Bro.
I will never complain about the school bus ever again.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Mm-mm.
Who is attending this school and how did they get back? Like,
Good question.
you
It-
don't
it's
zip
probably
line them back up.
yeah. That's probably a long way back.
Oh my God.
Damn.
cause broken bones from crash landings. Maybe get the bus. Number 98. Okay, we probably did have a lot of Pablo Escobar facts from earlier, but before we fully move on from drug lords, we probably need to mention Carlos Leder. Eskimo's partner in crime, Leder set up drug trafficking operations on a private island in the Bahamas, and he made a lot of dollar, which can happen if you're estimated with supplying 80% of the USA's cocaine in the 80s. Number 99. In fact, Leder made so much money he was raking in around $418 million a year and was involved in making an offer to the Colombian government where the drug cartels would pay off the country's debt in exchange for amnesty for their drug crimes. Number 100.
I mean, that makes sense. Give them money, pay down their debt. Don't prosecute me.
Could you imagine? Like, that's next level. If a freaking drug cartel's like, hey, bro, as in Colombia, I'll pay your debt down as a country. What? That's nuts. That's different level. That's different level money right there.
Yeah. Can you imagine if they helped pay down the U.S. national debt, which is impossible to do, but imagine what country we would be if they did that in exchange for immunity.
Well, think about this. I mean, real quick before we go crazy, Carnegie, Mellon, and Rockefeller paid down the debt the first time. I think that was after World War I or whatever.
Yep.
Yeah, the big heads
had all that oil money.
Yeah, and the railway money.
And the railway money.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know who could do that these days.
Nope.
Probably Mr. Beast in about 10 years.
Yep, Mr. Beast, 100%.
Yeah.
Captured in 1987 and sent to the USA, Leder was sentenced to 135 years in prison, but is currently a free man, after being released in 2020 for cooperating with the authorities. Number 101. Former President of Colombia, Álvaro Uribe, was victim to 15 assassination attempts during his presidential campaign. He survived all of them and won the election, gaining his seat in office and serving the country for 8 years between 2002 and 2010, and he didn't die once. So that was 101 facts about Colombia.
Wow.
And he didn't die once.
Didn't die once. It's funny that most recently there was an assassination attempt on former President Trump. Might be President Trump by the time this time next year. But
Yeah.
15 attempts. That makes
Yeah, that's a lot. That's
really
a
puts it
lot.
into perspective.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
man.
Well,
So
I would say this. This is pretty good. This is pretty good. Remember, like if you do go to like Colombia,
yeah,
you know,
get all the team in.
if you are traveling to Colombia, it's really good to have someone there
Okay.
that you trust to guide you around. The thing that helped me the most when I went there, the big tip is to hire a taxi driver. That one, and then he will be your taxi driver.
Yeah.
Don't just random taxis. No. Get the one guy. I'm going to be here for this long. This is my taxi. That's it. Don't, because there's a lot of like sanctioned taxi pickups and unsanctioned taxi pickups.
Okay.
And the unsanctioned ones, you possibly won't come back, you know, where depending on where you are. You want to stick with one taxi driver.
Okay, stick with one taxi driver. Find your guy, get his number, make friends with him.
Yep. Because there's a lot of taxi drivers in the cities, and so a lot of people that you know will know of like the taxi driver for the family.
Okay.
So like they're good friends. Like anytime I need to go to the shop, call Andres. He's there. Pick up the phone, call Andres. He'll be there to pick you up and take you, and he's the trusted liaison for transportation.
Yeah. I should probably hit up my stepbrother and stepsister when I do decide to go to Colombia, because they probably know somebody who is there. They're from the Medellin area, so that's probably will help me out in that area. And in terms of Bogota or Cartagena, I guess they probably have connections. So
I would think so. I mean, because a lot of the families that, let's say, grew up in Medellin, don't necessarily stay there. There's a lot of movement within the families. Like they'll go to Cartagena or Bogota, the capital, depending on what they do or where they work. And that's a good way to do it. You know, just like have an inn. My thing is have an inn and stay to, like, for me, let me see, my trips to Colombia, right?
Yeah.
I went off the beaten path. Like I went to the places that I wouldn't recommend you to go, but that's just because of the people I had around me. That I trusted, that I was basically like, you say go, I go. That's it. We're good.
Yeah.
But if you're like, I just got off the plane, let's, like, no, don't do that. Don't just go. Stay around the touristy places. Stay around the beautiful, upkept places, because Colombia is very proud of their international tourism. So those places are mad secure.
Yeah. They want people to come and spend their American dollars or any other currency that isn't similar to the Colombian peso.
Yes, and that's not the case up in the mountains or in a different valley or anything like that. Like, you know what I mean? Stay around the touristy spots. Stay around the nice, and you can still, even if it is the touristy spot, get a feel for the real everyday stuff.
Yeah,
it's not like, I would put it like this way. How Cozumel isn't Mexico City, you know, from Mexico.
Right.
That's not the same. Whereas Colombia, I feel, it does a good job integrating itself in the touristy areas. It's not like this is only for the gringos that come. You know, they're like, hey, we're gonna make this, and it's pretty good, you know, because then what happens is the hotel can call you a taxi, and that taxi, refer to my first point, becomes your taxi. The hotel trusts this service enough, that means you can trust that service enough.
Yeah, that's gonna be your guy for the for everywhere you need to go.
Yep. And honestly, I getting money out was easy for me.
Oh, okay.
I went to the ATM, got dollars out.
Okay, I'm assuming cash is king over there as
Well,
opposed to card transactions.
Cash helps. Cash
Yeah.
helps. Like with taxis.
Yeah.
Cash helps. You don't want, obviously you don't want too much cash, right? Carrying over there because there are pickpockets.
Yeah.
But yeah, just ATM. Trust ATMs at the bank. There's lots of banks all over the cities. And yeah, it's a pretty fun, pretty beautiful place. Pretty relaxed people. You just have to have your situational awareness on, just like you would any place.
Right. Just
I would say this, and this is something that I would definitely stand on. If you go there with your friend group, know who your friend group is, and you can drink with that friend group.
okay.
But don't go drinking solo.
Yeah. No
Don't
solo.
don't do that. Don't solo dolo it at all.
All right. No solo doloing.
No. No. That is not good. So anyway, that's just my 2 cents. I think that's just more generic travel advice.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's good to have that perspective, as someone who has been to Colombia multiple times. I've never gone. If I didn't have you in my life, I might solo raw dog it and probably never come back.
Yeah. And now hear me out on this. I remember I went and I was just I was like, okay, I'm just gonna shut up, keep my mouth. I got on a bus. I knew where I had to get off. I didn't speak a word. I didn't say nothing. And I asked one person where the stop was that I had to get to. And then when we got to the stop, the bus driver was like, "Gringo, this is your stop. Get off." So it doesn't matter that you're like tight-lipped. They know who you are.
Yeah.
You're like, you're the American.
Yeah, you're the gringo. Just if they say gringo, that's you.
That's you. Yeah. So it doesn't matter how hard you try to fit in. They know you as soon as you get out of that airport.
Yeah. Hey, this was really helpful. I really appreciate that. And also to the Sam for 101 facts. I don't know how many he got wrong, how many he got right. I'm looking for two types of comments here. One, what did he get right and what did he get wrong in terms of the facts? And two, keep what Daniel was saying going in terms of tips for gringos such as myself going to Colombia, how to stay safe, fun things to do, and just other life advice. And also keep in mind, I am a single and ready to mingle man. So if you could tailor that towards me, that would be appreciative. That's all I'm going to say to stay monetized here.
There you go, guys.
Anyway, thank y'all for watching. Consider subscribing and watching another video. Thank you, channel members. What now, Dan?
Unplug and do something legendary, guys.
And we'll see y'all next time.